Namaskar to all. Today we are going to discuss about a topic study of the effect of load on skeletal muscle contraction, that is free load and after load. We will discuss this under the following headings, that is principle, apparatus and reagents, procedure, results and observations, inference, precautions, and lastly discussion. So without further ado, let's start with the principle. So the principle, it says that a load can be applied to the muscle either before it starts to contract or after it has started contracting. The first condition is called free loaded muscle and the second condition is called after loaded muscle. The muscle performs better in free loaded condition because the load causes stretching of muscle fibers before contraction. Now if you think what is free load and after load, then let me tell you one thing, that is, what is a free loading condition, what is after loading condition. The condition can be what is after loaded, that is, after loaded is the condition in which the load starts acting on the muscle after the contraction has begun. Okay, I will show you an example, just wait for some time. Okay, can you say this is an example of an after loaded muscle, this one. If you see, so after loaded is the condition in which the load starts acting on the muscle after the contraction has begun, hence the muscle is not stretched by the weight during the rest. Okay, so as we can see, as an example is lifting weights. Okay, so this is an example of after loaded preparation. Now a free loaded preparation, if you can say this, free loaded or preloaded is the condition in which the load acts on the muscle before it begins to contract. It causes the partial contraction of contractile component and keeps the series elastic component of the muscle stretched. Simply, here the load starts to act on the muscle fiber, okay, even before it starts contracting. Okay, now with these things, let's go to the apparatus and reagents. The apparatus and reagents are same as that we use for the simple muscle curve. Okay, along with that we use weights such as 10 gram, 20 gram, 30 gram, up to 100 gram we can use. Okay, now about the procedure. Okay, now about the procedure, the thing is, let's discuss. The procedure is same. Okay, here we have to do one thing. Okay, before starting the procedure, I will like to tell you. Okay, that is, we have to know about the drum kymograph assembly. Okay, so let's do this one. This is a handle, this is the fulcrum. Okay, let's attach a load here. Okay. Now this is a drum kymograph, this is a writing lever with the fulcrum attached. Okay, now at first hand you prepare the setup. Okay, it is done under two things, one is under preloaded condition and one is under the after loaded condition. So recording on a moving drum and recording on a stationary drum. So when the drum is, say, moving drum, if we record, that is, the drum is rotating. Okay, it is moving. Then to check after loaded condition, here what we need to do is that we will put here the nerve muscle preparation. Okay, and then we will hang a, say at first we will hang a 10 gram weight. Okay, from the lever, it should be around 1 centimeter from the fulcrum. Okay, that is the fulcrum. Okay, now we will bring the afterloaded screw just to touch the lever fulcrum. In this position of the screw, the load does not act on the muscle at rest and acts only when it contracts. See, there is a screw called afterloaded screw. So here we will bring it, okay, here, so that this lever doesn't go down. Okay, so that means the weight of the load, that is the 10 gram weight, will act only when the muscle will start contracting, not before that. Okay, so an after loading screw is attached here. Okay, like that. Now the rest part is that now we will need to record a simple muscle twitch. Okay, like we have recorded for a simple muscle curve at a drum speed of 640 millimeter per second, and we have to mark the point of stimulation. Okay, so we have recorded a simple muscle twitch. Suppose this is the baseline. Suppose this is the baseline. Okay, now suppose we have recorded a simple muscle twitch at 640 millimeter per second drum speed. Okay, now we will mark the point of stimulation. As suppose this is the point of stimulation, we will mark it. Okay, now without changing the point of stimulation or strength of stimulus, we will add 10 gram. That is, previously we started with 10 gram. Again we will start with 10 gram. That is total 20 gram, and then we will record it. Okay, and then we will see how the curve looks like. Okay, so now the curve will come like this. Okay, 20. Then again we will increase the weight. Okay, 30, 40, like that. We have made the point of stimulation same. Okay, so we will increase the weight. Okay, and then ultimately we will trace the curve until the muscle is unable to lift the weight. Okay, then we will give a time tracing like this. Okay, then ultimately we will find a curve like this one. Okay, as you can see, 10 grams, 20 grams, 30, 40, 50, like that we can go. Okay, this is the time tracing. So this is the effect of load on a scaphoidal muscle contraction in an afterloaded condition. Now in the same way, if this particular drum, suppose it is not moving, okay, that is, if it is stationary, then what happens is that in a stationary drum, when the lever goes, it will just give like this, right? 10 gram, okay, 20 gram, 30 gram, 40 gram, 50 gram, like that, and this is the baseline. Okay, so like this. Now if we see this curve properly, it will be something like this. That is 10 gram, 20, 30, 40. It has, as you can see, the height of the curve has decreased. Okay, we will discuss it soon. Okay, so this is the curve. Okay, now the same thing when we go for a preloaded condition, that is for a freeloaded condition. Now if we see the same diagram for a freeloaded condition, what we will do is that we will lose the afterloading screw. Okay, this afterloading screw we had applied now here, we will lose the afterloading screw. Okay, and now what happens is that due to this, the weight will act on muscle. So weight acts on muscle even before muscle contraction has begun. Okay, like that it will go. Okay, fine. So it will go like that. Now when it happens, then what happens is that we will find curves. Okay, suppose if I draw this one, then at first this is the baseline. At first this is the pointer. Okay, This is the 12 gram. This is the load 10 gram. Okay. Now at first the curve, suppose at 10 gram we'll find a curve like this. Okay, mark the point of stimulation. This is for 10 gram. Now with the same point of stimulation we will do, and we will see that for 20 gram weight the curve has increased in height. Okay, now we will increase it again by 10 gram. Now for 30 gram what we will see is that, but this time for 30 gram we will get a curve like this. Okay, like this, then it's 30, then this is 40. So if we see, we'll get a curve like this. Okay, like this one. For the first curve 10 gram it was like this, and for the next curve, that is for 20 gram, it rose up, and for 30, 40, 50 it gradually decreased. Okay, by this time we know that from this to this point it is the latent period, from this to this point this is the contraction period, this is the relaxation period, this is the time tracing. Okay, and these are the physiological curves. Okay, now the same this one, if we stop the drum and just do it in a stationary way, then for the first 10 gram we will find a curve like this. Okay, I will draw it nicely. We will get a curve like this. Okay, this is the drum. Okay, now for the 20 grams we will, now after that we will manually rotate the drum for some time, and then we will apply again. For this time, suppose this is the 20 gram. See, it will the curve will try to go down. Okay, because the weight, as the weight acts on the muscle even before contraction, so it stresses the muscle fiber, so the muscle fiber goes down. Okay, like this. Can you see this diagram? Okay, this is a full loaded condition, right? The weight is acting even before the muscle, so the muscle is getting stretched. Okay, as more weights are applied, suppose for 10 gram weight it was like this. Now the same muscle for 20 gram it goes down, and as it goes down, the lever, that is the writing lever, it should also be decreased. Okay, so it looks like this. So like this again for 30 we will get like this, and we will apply the baseline like this. Okay, now if we see this diagram in a nice way, then it is this one. Okay, can you see this diagram? It is the same diagram for 10 gram, 20, 30, 40, like it has decreased like this. Okay, now as you can see, now let's see what these things mean. Okay, that is, this is the procedure how we have to do. So now after this procedure we will go to